When it comes to getting your Facebook ads firing on all cylinders, making sure you're getting the best leads at the best cost consistently, there's a few things that we found to work very, very well that I want to share with you in this video, and some things that you don't always think about. The first one being CPMs and how to actually lower them. So this is an example account that we have, and you'll see that the CPMs here are actually pretty expensive. And this has actually been something that's been a little bit more common that we've been seeing with a lot of our partners and with a lot of people that we consult with is higher CPMs. Now, regardless, one thing that's always going to influence CPMs is the objective. So these are all purchase campaigns. Purchase campaigns usually are going to have a higher CPM than a lead campaign, than an engagement campaign, and so on. However, one big thing that people don't really think about when they're making their Facebook ads is not only how can they be compliant, but how can they actually be friendly to the user. And so Facebook can see that, okay, whenever someone clicks on this ad, goes to the destination or interacts with the ad, they're actually having a good experience. Because what can happen is if you're including things like sensational content, you're forcing people to click to go to a page and nothing really happens, you're forcing people through a rabbit hole to eventually buy something, they're going to have a bad user experience. Facebook's going to see that, and the way that it's going to punish you is with high CPMs. So if you're struggling with high CPMs, one big thing I'd recommend is to audit your entire process from start to finish. The ad, the copy, what the creative is saying, and then the destination if you're sending them to a landing page. Because more likely than not, you're struggling with these really high CPMs because you have a high bounce rate on your landing page because maybe you're talking about sensational content, maybe there's a really big guarantee that just doesn't sound realistic, or maybe it's just a not user-friendly experience when they go to the lander. So make sure you check your landing page bounce rate is the first thing, and check those statistics and audit your landing page to see where things are falling off. If you're doing things like e-commerce, make sure that the shipping isn't like something crazy and it's something different to what the ad is saying. If the ad's saying quick shipping, they go to it and it's 3-week shipping, people are going to leave, they're having a bad experience. The next place to look is actually in the ad itself. Once again, kind of similar to the landing page. If you're putting sensational content, big claims, big guarantees that just don't sound realistic, Facebook is going to penalize you for that with your high CPMs. Don't do things that are really clickbaity, telling people to click to find out more. They should almost want to be clicking by themselves. And we're starting to actually remove slowly but surely like click to learn more in a lot of our ads, and we're seeing lowered CPMs. So instead of saying things like that, we're just reading on, we're continuing to write through the ad and not necessarily telling people to click specifically, but we're more so enticing people to want to click by themselves by just leaving them hanging so they can click and find out more, or being very specific of what they're getting on the next side. That's something super important as well. You don't always have to remove the CTA, but just be really specific of what they're going to get. So when they go there to the landing page or whatever, it's very congruent with what you've said in the ad itself. The next thing I want to share are 4 key elements that we look at inside of Facebook ads and a lot of ad platforms as well to make sure that you're getting the best results for the cheapest cost. And it comes down to these 4 things. First things first is your angle. The example that I love to share is if you were selling a chair through Facebook ads, it can be presented in multiple different ways. People may want the chair for various different reasons. Some people may want it because the chair looks good. Some people may want it because the chair is actually comfortable. And some people may want it for both of those reasons. So make sure in your ads, you're hitting those multiple angles, why people would want the thing that you're selling, you're offering, all that kind of stuff. The second one is the actual style, and this is more attributed to the creative. So if you've got a creative, you got to make sure to be testing the different styles of it as well. So you could test more of a blunt style, graphic design, like graphic image. You could do more of like a meme style. You could do a video. Test those different styles because more likely than not, you'll find more success in one style versus the other, and then you know what you need to create more of. Next is targeting. People love to look at targeting and see that as the end-all be-all for quality, results, and all that good stuff. In reality, it's very helpful, but make sure you're testing different trenches of audiences that are different to what you would normally test. Most people will test either very, very broad or very, very specific, and I think it's important to test in between. So trying different audiences that are filled with 3 to 4 interests per ad set is actually a really, really strong thing that I'd really recommend you to do. And then finally is setup. So I'll show an example here of some of these ones. There's a few different ways that you can set up ads to get maximum results. One is just going to be cheapest conversions, lowest cost per conversion, which is a fine one, and most people just stop there. But what I would really recommend you do is, let's say you're setting something up, whether it's for leads or for sales, and in this case, I'll just use sales just so it's a little bit more accurate to what I'm doing on here. One really easy thing that you can do to get totally different results is, instead of highest volume, lowest cost, I'd really recommend testing bid cap and cost per result goal. It's something that not a lot of people mess with, but when you structure your ads differently, even with a winning creative and piece of copy, just tweaking the cost per result goal or the bid cap goal can make a huge impact on your ads. And then last but not least, something that I want to share is making sure you know your KPIs. If you don't know your KPIs and you're not tracking these things on a daily basis, that's where you're really going to lose, and you're going to see things running away from you and things not performing as well inside of your ads manager. And if you don't know really what KPIs to look at, just check the description below. You can get access to this cheat sheet when you join our group, and it shows you exactly what KPIs are important, what it means, what it affects, and how you can influence it. So make sure you try this stuff in your ads. Make sure you're not doing sensational, clickbaity, or really crazy guarantees in your content, and you'll probably see some better results in your ads.